My children would ask for milk at night, and my wife would simply give them a bottle filled with water. They would drink it in silence and fall asleep. I honestly believed she was feeding them milk. I had no idea that my mother kept everything under lock and key. Every month, I handed my entire paycheck to my mother because she insisted she was the one managing the household. One day, while returning from work, I saw something that made my blood run cold. My son was scavenging through a trash pile, picking up discarded pieces of bread. When he saw me, he looked up with innocent eyes and said, "Mommy is hungry." My head spun. I took him home immediately, only to be met by my younger son, who had just woken up. "Mommy, I'm hungry. Give me my bottle," he whimpered. My wife, Nasreen, looked at me with pure panic in her eyes. Yes, I'm getting it. Just lie down," she stammered. I called my son over and said, "Bring the bottle here. I'll feed him myself." As I held my 2.5-year-old in my lap, I noticed how sharp and observant he was for his age. Nasreen sat beside us, looking uneasy. She had placed the bottle near the window. When the boy reached for it, she insisted, "Go back to your bed first, then you can have it." He pouted but obeyed. I told her, "You could have just handed it to me. He wanted to sit with me, but you sent him away." She forced a smile and replied, "He's too smart for his own good. He doesn't need help. He just wants to show off for his father." We both laughed, but looking back, I realized that laughter was a mask for her desperation. The next morning, before leaving for work, I handed my salary to my mother as usual. "Here, Mother, take care of the house expenses and make sure Nasreen has whatever she needs." I noticed a shadow of despair cross Nasreen's face. She was a patient, grateful woman who always stood by me, but that look disturbed me all day. I decided to come home early to surprise her. I had some bonus money saved up, and I wanted to take her shopping and out for dinner. When I arrived, my mother wasn't home. Nasreen was busy with the laundry. "You're home early," she said, surprised. "Finish up quickly," I smiled. "We're going shopping, and we'll eat out tonight." I told her I was hungry and asked for some juice or fruit. Nasreen looked flustered. "I'll get it. Just let me finish these clothes." Time passed. She finished the laundry, she got dressed, but she didn't bring me anything to eat. I started to get frustrated. I'd been working all day, and it felt like she cared more about shopping than my hunger. "Are you going to feed me or not?" I snapped. "If I knew I'd be sitting here starving, I would have stayed at the office." Shame washed over her face. "I'll give you something, but let Mother get back first. I sent our son to go find her." "What does Mother have to do with me eating?" I yelled. "You're my wife. It's your job to look after the house." I stood up and headed for the kitchen. Nasreen grabbed my arm, looking terrified. "No, don't go in there. I'll handle it." I pushed past her and walked into the kitchen. I froze. Every single thing was locked. The refrigerator had a padlock. The pantry cabinets were chained shut. There wasn't a single scrap of food accessible. "You lock the kitchen?" I asked, bewildered. "Who are you hiding food from?" She bowed her head, tears in her eyes. "I didn't do this. Mother did. She keeps the keys with her at all times. That's why I was waiting for her." When my mother returned, I confronted her immediately. "Why is the kitchen locked? We don't even have a maid. Who are you afraid will steal the food? Your own family?" She fumbled for an excuse. "Well, I was going next door, and you know how your wife is, always wanting to go out. I locked it so no strangers would walk in and steal our rations. It was a ridiculous logic, but I let it go. I took the keys, got some fruit, and gave it to the kids. They fell upon the food like they hadn't eaten in days. I felt embarrassed by their desperation and scolded Nasreen for not teaching them manners. She just whispered, "It won't happen again." The final straw came a few days later. As I passed a vacant lot near our home, I saw my son, Gudu, picking through the trash again. He was collecting dry crusts of bread into a plastic bag. "What are you doing?" I shouted, grabbing his hand. "Mommy is sick," he cried, trembling. "She's hungry. I'm bringing her bread." I ran home behind him. The scene inside was heartbreaking. Nasreen was burning with fever, collapsed on the floor. My daughter was holding her up, while Gudu tried to feed her the dirty bread he had softened with water. She couldn't even keep it down. My mother sat in the corner on her bed, watching the whole thing with total indifference, as if it were a play. "She's just dramatic," my mother said coldly. "I've saved every penny to build a future for you. Tell her to get up and cook." I rushed Nasreen to the hospital. The doctor's diagnosis was a punch to the gut: severe malnutrition. My wife was starving in a house fueled by my high salary. That night, I didn't hold back. I told my mother, "From now on, I will give you an allowance for your personal needs, but I am taking over the household. No more locks, no more starving." Nasreen finally confessed that my mother had been rationing their food to an extreme, barely giving them enough to survive while I was away. Slowly, I rebuilt my home. The locks came off, the children started drinking actual milk, and the color returned to Nasreen's face. My mother eventually realized her mistake, but the lesson was learned the hard way. Money saved at the cost of your family's health isn't a blessing, it's a curse.